All Elite Wrestling, Fight for the Fallen here today. My name is Britt Plays. It is time for the pay-per-view that we've been building towards for the last few weeks now. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a big episode. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it. So for the pay-per-view, we're going to be having it in the Southeast region. That's of course our best area. We need to make sure that we capitalize on the popularity that we've built here, whilst we still try and grow the other areas slowly but surely. But we need to make sure we hit the Southeast when it comes to our big events to make sure we get the most out of it. We're expecting around 17,000 fans, which would be huge for us. And we, of course, aren't going to go ahead and have our big broadcasters on there again. So we're probably going to expect around 100,000 buys. Last time we had the big broadcasting on there, we got around 300,000, which was crazy. So we were not going to go for that many, but we'll have more of a minor event instead. And last time we had Fight for the Fallen, it was John Moxley versus Brian Cage in the main event, which is hard to believe. 73 rated was that main event, 76 overall show. The Sex Gods beat Adam Page in a handicap match. That's because Kenny Omega was injured. Young Bucks Private Party had an 80 rated match too. And Cody and Ray Phoenix for the TNT title, 81. So it was a pretty decent show. 76 is the one we got to beat. I think we can do it. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. And we got a lot of matches on the pre-show and the main show to get through. So let's go ahead. Alrighty, we open things up with Brandon Cutler talking about Peter Avalon turning his back on him. 30 rated for that one. So we're kicking off the Wingman versus Brandon Cutler storyline. Won't be a long storyline, be short but sweet, but it should be, alright. A nice little platform to build off for the Wingman. So he's going to be turning heel soon, but not quite yet. SCU got their rematch against the Acclaimed. They defeated the Acclaimed in a 47 rated match. So the SCU pick up an important win. They've had a lot of losses as of late, so I figured it was time to give them a win back. Frankie Kazarian gets the pin over Max Caster, 47 rated. So we don't know the future of Max Caster. As of recording this right now, he's been in a bit of hot water. Has he been fired? Who knows? But I like the Acclaim, so we gave him a win. Just in case something does happen, we're not going to go all in on them just yet. Kazarian 48, Daniels 50, Caster 36, and Bowen's 36. That's pretty good from both those guys. That's probably one of their best performances to date. So really, really good stuff. 47 rated. Britt Baker hypes up her match against Abaddon for a 41. And then we had a 10-man tag, a bit of a match just to throw guys together to get them on the card. Ethan Page, the Butcher and Blade, and the Hybrid 2 took on basically Best Friends and Jungle Boy. 56 rated. We gave Jungle Boy's team the win, and that was a good little win there. Nice match. 56 rated is actually a lot better than I expected. A lot of these guys are not really in the mix at the moment, but I know they'd be pretty upset if they weren't on the card in some capacity. So that's why we threw him on here. And someone like Jungle Boy does deserve to be on the card. We just didn't have any time to have his match against FTR. So not too bad. 56 rated for that one. Chris Statlander and Jade Cargill had a 48 rated match. Wow, that's pretty good. Jade Cargill picks up the win in 12 minutes. Chris Statlander giving her everything that she's got. She performed at 48. That's really good. Jade, not bad. 40. We've been building up Jade for a while now. I mean, her in-ring stats aren't great, but we've risen up. We've been able to rise her popularity up to around the 40, 42 mark in the Southeast. And if she can perform around 40, I'll take it. And looks like she can. So that's not too bad. 48. Jade picks up the win and continues her momentum. We are pushing her pretty hard. Unfortunately, some of the other women have to take the L because of it. Post-match, Thunder Rosa saves Statlander from an attack by Jade. So this is a way to get Thunder Rosa back in the mix. She had an injury, but this shows that she's not done yet. So we will set up for... I'd like to do a triple threat match still between these three women. So 44 for that one. So Thunder Rosa in storyline, she was injured, she was out for a couple of weeks, but she's back. Statlander's had some injury issues thanks to Jade. Now's a chance for the three of them to maybe lock up, and maybe a handicap match, I don't know. Alright, we had our opening video hype package for the event, so this is the main show now, 71 rated. I was hoping for a little bit more than that, but it didn't quite work out to be as good as we hoped. So it's time for our first match of the show, and let's see it. Malachi Black versus Park 1-on-1, 72 rated match. Park 80, Malachi Black 71. Oh man, I'm very worried about Malachi Black. He is not performing as good as I hoped he was going to. Park, on the other hand, 80 was excellent. That's why we're keeping the belt on Park, so Malachi Black picks up the win here, but Park will remain champion. It was a non-title match. You know, we said recently on Dynamite that Malachi Black had bigger fish to fry, wasn't too concerned about the TNT title, and he's got other plans going forward. He just wants to know that he can beat Park and overtake him, and he was able to do it. 72 was the match. Park, though, was the star. So Malachi Black, I'm getting kind of Miro vibes here, even, you know, Brody Lee vibes, where we had a lot of hype, a lot of big plans for them, but they just weren't really doing as well as you would have liked. So he's on a big money contract too, so that's the worst thing. He's getting huge money, and if he's not performing well, I'm very concerned. Post-match, Malachi Black goes berserk and beats down the Death Triangle, so really putting him over strong in this one, 68. So, look, the storyline coming in wasn't great, but I think we still got the best result. Maybe the match could have been a 75, 76 at best. So, I think we did pretty well in the end for a while there, it was not looking good. Anthony Gogo defeated Billy Gunn. We knew this match was going to stink, and it did, 24 rated. But Gogo beats Billy Gunn in 4 minutes, so a quick, dominant win by Gogo, just to basically make him look like a star, put him over huge, and that's the end of Billy Gunn. So Billy Gunn's about to retire in our game, and this is how we're going to finish him up here in AEW 24 for the match. Post-match, Billy Gunn hugs his family, the Nightmare family out there too, as he ends his career. The Factory, on the other hand, are taunting him. They're having a great time. They're laughing. They're celebrating. They're ecstatic with their big win here tonight. So 42 for that one. So, yeah, hopefully this helps a Gogo out. He gets a big win over Billy, and the Factory gets a bit of a bump in the popularity. Let's hope. You know, we're going to try. We're going to try with the Factory. Gogo's going to be the main guy in it. He's not very good, but, you know, neither is anyone else in the group. So we may as well go with the guy who's got the most star potential. So hopefully a Gogo gets better as time goes on, and we can keep this group looking strong. Alright, we had the triple threat tag team match between the women. Brandy and Velvet took on the Bunny and Mel, and TJ. 38 rated was the result. Brandy, 45, was the best in the match. The Bunny, second best with 35. And a Jay, though, really good at 34. Tay Conti, 30. Mel and Red Velvet, 23 apiece. Not so great. But yeah, not too bad here. 38 rated amongst these three women's tag teams is pretty good. Probably the best we could have hoped for, I would say. Brandy and Velvet pick up the win. Obviously, we're going to be gearing up for Brandy versus Britt Baker. I think it all out. I think that'll be the next thing. And we wanted to keep her strong. I was very tempted to give TJ the win because I like that combination. But for now, we'll keep Brandy strong. Maybe we'll revisit these, teams down the line and potentially do something else there and have Brandy lose. Abaddon took on Britt Baker. Yeah, we're getting all the crappy matches out of the way early. 36 rated for this one. Abaddon, not bad. 31. That's a lot better than I expected. Britt Baker, 38. We kept this short and sweet. We had Rebel interfere, basically screw over Abaddon, and allow Britt Baker to survive here. 36 for the match. 6-minute match. We didn't want to expose Abaddon for too long. Look, it got Britt Baker through another month. It gives her another title defense, and we hopefully hot-shotted Abaddon a little bit to get her a bit of popularity. 31, though, from her, that's probably the best we could have ever hoped for. Considering most of her matches are dreadful, a 31, that's pretty good. I think it's because we had it as a shorter match. We didn't want to overexpose her for too long, so I'm hopeful that this could be the start of something for Abaddon. Maybe we could start to look to use her a little bit more if she can keep those performances up. Alright, I had Adam Page cutting a promo on MJF, talking about how he's healthy and he's ready for tonight's main event. So despite getting whacked in the face with a belt a couple of weeks ago, he's recovered, no concussion, and he is good to go. Miro took on Jake Hager in a 70 rated match. Miro 72, Jake Hager 63. Miro picks up the win. We had this as a submission match, so both guys have got good submissions, and we figured let's do something a little bit different here and go with a submission match, and it worked pretty well, I felt. 70 rated is better than what I expected. I was expecting maybe mid-60s. Miro doing pretty well here, 72, outperforming Malachi Black, so Miro maybe is the better option going forward as our next up-and-coming babyface. But it's good signs for Miro. He is a babyface for us. He definitely could jump him over to heel at some point, and he'd have a great run, as we know. But I'm not fully sold on him being a babyface for us. But it's a good option for now because we are struggling in that area. So Jake Hager, not a lot of plans for me for him. I don't think he's got a lot of value, but a 63 from him, you can't complain with that. That's pretty good. The Wild Things took on Teamaz FTW for a 68 rated match. Eddie Kingston 58, Moxley, wow, 85, really good. Cage 66, Ricky Starks 51. So we had this as a wild brawl, and probably a little bit too long maybe for a wild brawl, but also the crowd weren't that hyped up for it, which is a little bit strange considering they just had a 70 rated match. You felt as though maybe there would be. But yeah, we gave the Wild Things a victory, of course. So nice win there, and this is kind of the big win for Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, and now we can start to move those guys on to something else. Also gives Ricky Starks another strong pay-per-view showing. Hopefully that helps out his popularity as well, which is already climbing really well. Chris Jericho pleads with Sammy Guevara to walk away from tonight's match. He doesn't want to have to fight him. He'll do what he has to do, but he's giving him one last chance to let this match not take place. 81 for this one. Nice promo from Chris. And the match, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, one-on-one, 83 rated. These two have great chemistry together, and it showed. Sammy Guevara, well, did he want to prove tonight that he was a main event guy? Well, he certainly got that chance to do it. 82 from him. Jericho still has it, 87. Great overall. In the end, we did have Chris Jericho beat Sammy Guevara. So, the teacher does beat the student here. Sammy Guevara wanted to prove that he could do it. He didn't quite get there, but he showed everyone that he can hang with Jericho. Post-match, Jericho and Sammy, they shake hands and hug it out. So Sammy Guevara got his chance to prove it. He didn't quite win. Instead of having a tantrum, instead of, leaving the inner circle and all that, he does, resolve his issues with Chris Jericho, and business will go on as usual. We were tempted to turn Sammy Guevara as a babyface, and I definitely believe he could do it. And, I suppose him playing second fiddle to Jericho is probably holding him down a little bit. He definitely could break out and be a star on his own, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to pull the trigger on that yet, because if we do that, I feel like the inner circle's finished, and there is not much there for Jake Hager, as we just said. Santana and Ortiz, they'll be okay, but, where does Jericho go from there? I'm not sure. Is Jericho the right guy to turn babyface? Probably. Sammy Guevara would be the right guy to stay heel. So, I'm not sure if I want to turn Jericho yet, because that means one of our top heels, our most popular guy on the roster, now's a babyface to join Cody and Moxley already there, so it doesn't really balance the roster well. So, I just don't know if it's the right time to trigger that yet. Speaking of Cody, he took on Christian Cage in a 78 rated match. Christian, 70, Cody, 80, and both guys performing really, really well. Christian a little bit gassed towards the end after 18 minutes. I think we might have even had this as a steal of the show. Potentially, yes we did. So no surprise that Christian didn't quite hang on there for the full length, but he certainly did pretty well. Cody Rhodes picks up the win, and now he is the new #1 contender for the AEW World Championship. So after all this time, Cody's had to work and grind, and finally he has got that spot, and he will have a title shot once again. We had the Super Elite saying tonight that they will prove that they are the best ever, and they are better than Hardy's. 83 for that promo. So we're going to lead up to this big tag team match, which I actually feel could be the match of the night. Now, I didn't think Jericho and Sammy would be as good as it was, so it's going to be tough to beat it. But let's see. The Hardys and the Young Bucks, 84, it does beat it. There you go. I felt as though it had a good chance to do it, and it did. The Young Bucks defeat the Hardys in a cage match. So it's a cage match because, of course, we wanted to keep Anderson and Gallows out of the way. We didn't want them to get themselves involved. We didn't want Kenny Omega to get himself involved. We wanted a fair match. In the end, Matt Jackson escaped the cage. Kenny Omega found his way in. He's found his way in to screw over Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy and allow the Young Bucks to make it their 6th defense of the titles. Matt and Nick, 86 and 87. Jeff, 77. Matt Hardy, really good, 72, hanging in there with the rest. And Jeff was off his game, so he could have done a little bit better as well. 84 was the overall result. Big thumbs up from me. And that'll be the end of this rivalry. We'll now move the Young Bucks on to someone else, maybe the Wild Things. I think that would make a lot of sense. Potentially, we were building up the Lucha Bros really highly. We kind of cooled off them a little bit, but I think that could be something we could revisit. And the Hardys, I think it's time for them to start to work with some of the mid-card tag teams and start putting a few over and utilizing that popularity and giving it to some of the other tag teams. Our main event, Adam Page, MJF, 77. So I knew this wasn't going to be the best match on the card, but I did want to make sure, of course, it was the main event. I probably could have done the Young Bucks, in Hardy's as a main event, but Adam Page, MJF get a chance to main event here. Adam Page, 79, MJF, 84. So their performance is certainly warranted it. MJF, 84 is really, really good. They have pretty good chemistry, so it lifted the match as well. And I was going to say, that's a really good effort from both guys, but the chemistry does help. I guess maybe the storyline heat wasn't strong enough to lift it up even further. This certainly could have been 82, 83, absolutely. And it wouldn't have been a bad option. But in the end, MJF does defend the title against Adam Page. It's his 3rd defense, and now that kind of leads us back. Cody versus MJF at All Out. That's where we're headed here. And, it kind of goes full circle with all the big storyline. All the history between MJF and Cody. It all comes back together for All Out. So that's kind of where we're going. For Adam Page, I'm not sure what's next for him. Maybe we could have him join up the Dark Order in our own game as well, and maybe have him elevate those guys. Or maybe we just have him, go elsewhere. Maybe he challenges for the TNT Championship. I don't know. We'll have to think about something for Adam Page. But that is the final match on the show, and it does give us an 81 rated episode. 17,200 people attended. 81 rated. It was a very top-heavy card with the last hour or two being excellent. The first hour, apart from the park match, not really good. But we did finish off with a bit of a bang, and we had a good show in the end. So, an 83 and 84 match, a 77, and a 70 and a 72. That's some pretty good stuff there. And even the lower card matches and the women matches, they did a lot better than I expected. So I think it's a big plus all around. I'm really pleased with the way things went down, and let's make some speeches. Let's give some praise out. So. Let's give Chris Jericho. He had a great performance. He was really good. Let's give him a hug of how good he was. And why not Sammy Guevara? He did a really good job as well. And let's go MJF. Nice main event performance. A good effort from him. One of his best performances to date. So let's please all them and make them happy, and let's go check out the ratings. Alright, as we said, 17,200 fans attended, and we had an 81 rated show. It gives us a buy rate of 82,000. Okay, not too bad. Obviously, we didn't want to overload it and have something ridiculous in terms of our buy rate, so 82,000 is probably fair enough, and I'll take that. That's not too bad. So hopefully that can help boost some popularities, which we'll check in a second. Carmella's going to stay with WWE. We did offer her a contract. We lowballed her. We weren't really interested in her. Staff Riley, he's going to stay as well. Sonny Kiss, he leaves AEW. So I didn't want to renew his contract. I just had no plans for him. He's just been a job guy, and the Joey Janela tag team has kind of run its course, averaging 48 this year, 49 in his career. That's not too bad numbers, but I guess you got to think about who has he been working with to achieve those results, and his own personal performance hasn't been great. So it's time to move him on. Done the Rosa, get some praise from Jim Ross. Jack Evans, not so much from Dax, and yeah, 82,000 for that one. And one more thing to deal with. Cash Wheeler will stay with us. Surprisingly, WWE did not offer him a contract, but $2,500 per show, 3-year deal. We want to lock him up. We don't want him to go anywhere. And now he can lose to Jungle Boy. So I'm sure he'll be very, very pleased about that one. All right, let's look at the popularity changes. At the top of the card, obviously Adam Page had a big main event match, 77 in the Southeast. So I don't think there's much movement from him. Jericho picked up the big win over Guevara, no change. Christian, no change from him. Cody, 81, heading into the main event. I don't think there's much of a change from him. Jeff Hardy, 72, small little boost for him, I believe. Moxley, 79 the Southeast. Kenny's still sitting at 79. Matt Hardy, 63. So he's getting a bit of popularity happening lately. The Young Bucks, no change for them. Even though they beat Jeff Hardy, you would have thought maybe they'd get a bit of boost up, but not to be. Miro touching 70. MJF, well and truly into the 80s. He has got 80 in the Southeast and 80 everywhere else, pretty much. So he's definitely becoming our top guy. He and Jericho sitting above everyone else. Cody's right there with them. He's very close, but yeah, definitely MJF and Jericho, the two most popular guys in the company at the moment. Park 66, despite the loss. Guevara now well and truly into the 70s, the 72 now in the Southeast. So yeah, it might be time to break him up with the Inner Circle. He's getting too much popularity. He's too popular to be playing second fiddle to Chris Jericho. He's got a lot of star power now. Brian Cage, 58, despite the loss. Malachi Black got the win over Park. He's got 71 popularity. I'm really worried about Malachi Black, honestly. He's had 2 matches now, performing at 70 and a 71, I believe. It's okay, it's not bad, but it should be better than that. It really should be. So I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm hopeful that we can get something more happening soon. Jake Hager, 59 still, so he's holding his popularity pretty well. Further down the card, not too much else happening down there. Let's go a little bit further. Check out some of the women's results. Billy Gunn got his ass kicked by Anthony Gogo. He's now got 38 popularity, so I'm hopeful that a Gogo gets a bit of a big jump. Brandy Rhodes, 45, 46 in the Southeast. So when her and Britt Baker match up, it's going to be a good one. Britt Baker's got 38 still. Pretty good. Who else we got? Eddie Kingston, 48 in the Southeast. So he's gaining some popularity. Jade Cargill, 42 still. Doing really, really well. Chris Statlander had a good match. Still got 35. Peter Avalon had a nice promo. He's in the mid-30s. Ricky Starks, he's doing exceptionally well. 47 in the Southeast now. We've been really able to get him going after... it's been a long grind, don't get me wrong. We've been working on him for a long time. But he's really starting to improve, and his overall results are getting better and better. In 2020, he averaged 47. He's now averaging 55. The popularity is growing, and he's really starting to become a valuable player for us. And if we do move the TNT Championship down the card a little bit, Ricky Starks would be a great option for it, absolutely. Abaddon's got 20 popularity now in the Southeast, so that's good signs. I believe, she did gain some, so that's a good sign. Not a lot of popularity increase, but it's better than nothing, I suppose. A Gogo, after beating Billy Gunn, has gone from, basically nothing, 17, 7, and 8 in every other area. He's now got 21 in the Southeast and 19 in every other region. So that's something you can work with. It's a good starting block. It's okay. It's not anything that we can really work with too heavily, but the foundation has been set, and hopefully we can just continue to build off of that. We need to, absolutely. Jamie Hayter's got 10 popularity now, but I like what she did. I just saw her first appearance on Dynamite in real life as I record this. Nice promo. I think she's got a lot of potential, so I think we're going to be looking to push her quite heavily in the women's division. Looking forward to seeing how she goes long term for us. Definitely some potential there, so looking forward to that. Will Hobbs, he's our other project, still got 43 in the Southeast. We haven't forgotten about him. We're going to look to get him in some sort of storyline very, very soon as well. And last but not least, Thunder Rosa, 37 in the Southeast, 34, 31 everywhere else. Still plenty of opportunity for her to grow, and we're going to look to push her in that match against Jade Cargill really soon as well. So that's the changes in popularity. Plenty to look at, and plenty of positive results. So I'm really pleased with how that's kind of going down. Certainly the top of the card looking really strong, but the middle of the card is starting to improve a little bit as well. After a tough grind, we're starting to get there. The good news is Darby Allin only 1 month away, Luchasaurus a month away from coming back as well. But when we get Darby Allin back 1 month's time, that's going to be huge for us. He's been a big loss, and hopefully he comes back better than ever as well. Alright, it's a new month now. We now enter the month of August, and here we go. Thank goodness for this. The recent scandal that had hurt AEW has now blown over and no longer impacts the company. When I say recent, that was a year ago. The DDP scandal that rocked us early on in our game, it's finally over, which should mean we can actually gain some size and some popularity in our company, because we've basically gotten nowhere in the last year. Small little bit of popularity gain. Now there should be nothing holding us back, basically. So we should start to see some definite improvement. Who knows? I don't know what it'll do. I don't know if it'll affect our TV ratings. I'm not sure how much this scandal's really affected us, but I guess we'll find out. We've got a lot of our Rampage and Dark deals expiring as well. And Norman Smiley, his contract's up over in WWE. No interest from us to bring him in. Let's take a look at our financial situation. It is another gain for us. We have gained money for the third month in a row, $669,000. And we did it without really overloading the pay-per-view revenue. But of course, having the two major shows now does help with our broadcasting revenue. But more importantly, it's our ticket sales. We're allowed to have fans back, and we're certainly gaining a lot of money because of it, including 17,500 people coming out for the pay-per-view. So that's always going to be big money for us. 1.4 million in ticket sales is huge. Our sponsorship money is going up. Our merchandise money has gone up a lot. So we're gaining a lot more revenue, even though we're spending a lot more on talent. We are still doing really well in that regard, which is great to see. Merchandise, Cody Rhodes, the top merch seller. Moxley, Jericho, 2 and 3. Page 4. Jeff Hardy, 5. MJF down at 6. Malachi Black comes in pretty strong, number 8. So that's not a bad start from him. Cody's still the man at the moment. And Jericho's still selling a lot of merch despite being a heel. I'm sure if he was a babyface, he'd be selling a ridiculous amount. So that's good signs nonetheless as well. Alright, lastly, before we go, obviously in real life, 2.0 has now joined AEW. So we're going to replicate that as well in our game. So we're going to be bringing them in. And it's another low-end tag team that we can kind of capitalize on. So I'll give them a short-term deal and see how they go. Look, they haven't got a lot of popularity, but as we know, we could use all the tag teams that we can get. It's always good to have more tag teams, and I think they've got a little bit of potential. The only issue really with them is their age. They're quite older in comparison to a lot of our other tag teams. But yeah, low 20s popularity, so they'll come in with a bit of an opportunity to separate themselves from some of the real low-end tag teams. And Shane Matthews here, 73 charisma. He's got some decent mic skills, so there is a bit of an opportunity for him to kind of capitalize on that and help, just fill out the tag team division a little bit more. But with that being said, next up is All Out. We know the main event's going to be Cody and MJF. We still need to figure out the rest of the card though, so hopefully, In the next episode or two, we'll start to figure out the rest. But so far, so good with things here in AEW for us. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Fight for the Fallen. Thank you so much for watching. And make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed it. And we'll see you on the next one.